Greetings, this is Cheryl at Sea Spirit Tarot, and I am here to redo my journaling, responding to Natalia at Ouroboros. And I told you I blew my phone up last night, but I'm getting digital. For the first time ever, I took it all apart and put it back together and found some knobs, and here we go again. My light is crazy. There's too much light. This is the south. Half a block away there is the beach. So I'm gonna have to deal with this, and I'm gonna try to keep it short. So one of the comments I made is, how much do we need? How many books do we need? Well, I don't want everybody to think I'm not a crazy book lover like all the rest of you, because I always have, no matter how much I've moved, I've always kept my core journal, my core reference of books. And I'm really easy to move, come help me move, because all I have is books and rocks, basically. Books and rocks. It's some plants, big heavy plants. So anyway, journaling. And it's called, the hashtag she chose was breaking ice. And I think I was journaling for a long time when I didn't know I was journaling. I'm going to start with this book that you can see. You can see this is a well-worn old book, right? And it was at a very sad time in my life. I'm always, I went through so much weird stuff. But anyway, I was looking in here. The book was published in 1983. And I put a Baha'i bookmarker in there in 86. So what this book ended up being was sutras, was little sayings. It's not wisdom to be only wise, and on the inner vision close the eyes, but it is wisdom to believe the heart. And then there's a lot in here, some mantras. And there's a lot in here that I'm sure I won't wander across because I want to, about my children. I had such strong, my children were 5 and 6, somewhere in there. And there's much stuff that I wrote in here to them, hoping that someday they would find it. It's a poem someone wrote to me actually not too long ago. Look, here's an Om Mani Padme Hum. But basically my point with this is that through my sadness or coping, I just got books from the library. Of course, like I said, there was no internet. There was no smartphones. I was out in the woods in Montana. And I just wrote a journal of stuff that was special to me. And so I wasn't writing, oh, I'm so sad, how my heart is so broken, how did I get this way, why is it happening? I was still stuck in the other, but I was working on that spot. Those, mean indirectly. My second one, this poor beat up old book that's been through. And this has it has astrology. It has my spreads that I did and what the results were, some shaman classes. I mean, it's just got lots of stuff. And at the end, it has a class I took that was based on Seth, but we read the books that went with it. We read all the Carlos Castaneda stuff. And Journey to Inner Earth. And it all begins. Now, also about that time when I was working in the Metaphysical Bookstore, I actually got one real book. Hey, a real book that is just totally disintegrating, and I've been patching it up. But in this book, this book is one of the most important letters I've ever gotten in my life. Just fell out of that book. Said I was a Buddhist wind horse. Pretty cool. This is actually a woman's book of changes. But I just went through and put everything in there, things that were important to me, whether it was flowers I wanted to plant, clothes I wanted to buy, intentions. I'm a Melchizedek fan, big time, of course. Some dowsing odds and ends. My palm reader got an article written on the Missoula paper. Prayer for Perceptions. Looking for, so see, it's a tarot book too. But then at some point here, I guess maybe about the time my grandson passed away, then it became a full-out journal. And the pictures in it became different. But I have pages and pages now of journaling. And throughout my knee replacement, pages and pages of journaling. So let's call this in 2000. And then I have, again, spreads that were done, or I did on myself. But it's just pages and pages of journaling. And I picked it up the other day, and I figured out that I had picked it up on October 16th, 2013, where I was making negative and positive things about myself and beliefs and habits that I needed to have altered. And probably a little bit before that, because some of these notes are from a class I took while I was here, I think. There's one page I wanted to show you in here. Of course, I can't find it easily, where it shows, I'll do another video on it. It shows about where your pain is. It's a form you can fill in on your pain. And then you can use that pain for tarot. Once you identify what that pain is on another level, well, of course, you can't find out how it works. Anyway, and so I have begun again. I began this channel, Lionsgate, the 10th, and this has become, I have been doing this every night, even if it's just a short paragraph, to get back into the journaling aspect. I got so many journals going. I'm putting, what do you call them? Oracle cards, my mermaid oracles. I've got them on my dresser, which is actually where my date book is. And I'm starting to write those in there and then see what happens through this, the rest of this. So anyway, from there, that kind of became, I worked up, I didn't know I was journaling, became the book of the thoughts, and then to that ring book of which I showed you. And then last July 11th, I came more heavily back into the tarot. And, you know, we're taught not to whine. And I'm single. I don't have anyone to hold me when I cry or, you know, it's all insane. So the book became my journal. I mean, and some of the Fine Witches spells were wonderful. And some of the wonderful ones where you wrote pages and pages and pages on stationery and then burnt them to the wind. It was also very helpful. So journaling, to me, even though I really didn't understand it, has just been absolutely amazing. And when I'm so upset, I have no one to talk to. No one wants to hear it, right? So those are things, there's some things in this life, many things that we have to do by ourselves. And our lessons are them. So my new journals, when I started here, and I'd said that in the other one, remember your sun is your soul source. It's your golden seed. It's your fire. It's what came through your ancestors, right? The moon is emotionally how you see yourself, the reflections of the sun. And Mercury, who is still in deep, deep, heavy-duty Scorpio, is how you express that. Mercury is the expression, the verbalizations, the internet, join. So it's really a good time right now to even start journaling. Mercury is still retrograde, redo. I think there's about 6 more days. And like I said, feelings, experiential, and symbols are so important. So then I began this journal, and I began this journal on the 11th. No, before the 11th. I began this journal, yeah, okay. So this is where I started journaling, and that's how I wrote down my cards. And then I go through what the cards meant to me, and of course that evolved. This is a daily modified Celtic cross. I haven't done it in a few days. Actually, I very much miss it. I do it usually with my Marseille deck. But it's about my potential new endeavors and being 5 months in and what I'm awakening to. So, I mean, it's not fancy, and it's in a Walmart special, and I have a whole bunch of pictures and folders. I used to have a million little pictures all over my house, and I just paste something on there. And then when I've progressed, the other journaling I'm doing, of course, and Natalia kind of got me into this, is I'm doing it at this point, and I started on the wrong day. I just like, listen, here I go. I do this, and I write the meanings of the cards, and then I go back, and I look at it as a story. It's a story if you're into colors. It's a story of colors. It's a story of goddesses. It's a story of what to look for tomorrow, and did I find it? Right there. You know, it is, I have 3 more cards. I've done this work, but I haven't put them in. And that's all my journaling, which I think that's probably way enough journaling, you know, with other projects that I have going. So, as our goddess was at my last reading this morning, Sekhmet, mother of the dead, whose anger is a thing even the other gods fear, who guards those corridors well. Bring my death to a place of peace. Bring my death to a place of power. May your hearts be light on the scale. She works with Matt. And like I said in my previous video, if you want to do some inner work and some journaling, Sekhmet. She's the lion-headed goddess from Egypt. Do some research on her. If you think it's a mess now, she will destroy it. But it comes back, right? It's coming back great. So anyway, this is my response to how to break the ice in journaling. I think I broke the ice because I didn't know I was breaking my ice. And the only way I knew to express myself was through poetry or through letters to my children for them to see in the future. And at that time, they were in kindergarten and first grade. Like I said, they're in their 40s. But what's going to become of all this? Is anyone going to look at it? I don't know. It doesn't. Some of the books, I hope so, and some of them, I hope not. I hope we have all that wounded karma healed by then. And the ones they do look at with the pictures will just be good memories. So anyway, I'm off into the sunshine on my bicycle. I think I'll go to a craft fair, and I don't know, whatever comes, we'll see. So have a blessed, blessed Saturday afternoon. May the goddess protect you. Love and peace. All we need is a sword of truth. Blessings.